Okay, two-step inequalities. Solve the inequality and graph your solution. So we have negative 2 times x plus 3 is less than 11. Okay, so you're doing the same thing that you've been doing. You got x on this side of the symbol, and you got a times and a plus. So you're going to circle the times. Now, outside you go up plus, so you need a minus 3 first. Okay. And when you're minusing and plussing, you don't have to worry about the signs, whether you should switch the sign. And then you're going to divide by negative 2. And that's where you got to switch the sign if you're dividing with a negative, and we are. Okay, so switch sign or change the sign. Okay, so minus your 3. When you minus the 3, the sign doesn't change. Okay, when you add minus or plus, the sign doesn't change. So 11 minus 3 is 8, and then I have negative 2 times x. Then I need to divide by negative 2, and I'll need to switch the sign when I do that. So remember, we're switching the sign. And then we have x, and then I take 8 divided by negative 2. That's negative 4. Okay, so the number is negative 4. So I circle. And I got to decide what it's open to. It's open to the x. So when it opens to the x, it's going this way. Okay. So then tick, tick, tick. So here's negative 4. So negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. Okay. Next problem. 5 times x minus 4 is greater than 16. So we got times 5 and minus 4. So we get rid of the minus 4 with a plus 4. The sign doesn't, we don't change the sign on that part. But on the next part, I divide by 5. Well, the 5 I'm dividing by now is positive, so I will leave the sign. Okay, so when I plus 4, line that up, and then plus 4, plus 4. So 16 plus 4 is 20, and over here I have 5 times x. Now I divide by 5, and since I'm dividing with a positive number, we leave the sign the same. Okay. So I now have x, because the divide by 5 gets rid of the times 5, then I take 20 divided by 5, and that's 4. Okay, so I write 4 down. Now since 4 doesn't have a sign, it's automatically positive. And then the sign is open to x again, so it's going to go in the same direction. So tick, 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 positive, positive, positive. So positive 4, positive 5, positive 6, positive 7. And again, put x right there. Sorry, I didn't do that on the first one. Okay, and you've solved it. Next problem, negative 3 times x plus 3 is greater than 24. So I circle the times part of the inequality and then plus 3. So we get rid of the plus 3 with a minus 3. And we get rid of the times negative 3 with a divide by negative 3. And since here we're going to be dividing each side by a negative number, we have to switch the sign. Okay? But first I minus 3. When I minus or plus, I keep the sign the same. Okay? It's when I divide that I'm going to switch it. So minus 3, and we got negative 3 times x. 24 minus 3 is 21. And then we divide by negative 3. And of course the sign switches at that point because I'm dividing each side by a negative. So I have x, and then I take 21 divided by negative 3, and I got negative 7. So now it opens to negative 7. Circle, and when it opens to the number, it goes this way. Okay, so I put x, and then tick, tick, tick. So I go find where negative 7's at, and it's this way. So negative 8, negative 9, negative 10. Okay, 6 times x plus 4 is less than 22. So we have a times and a plus. So you're going to minus 4 and then you're going to divide by 6. But 6 is positive, so we'll leave the sign. So minus 4, when I'm plussing and minusing, the sign stays the same. So 22 minus 4 is 18, and then I've got 6 times x. And then I'm dividing by 6, but I'm going to leave the sign because I'm dividing each side by a positive 6. So we got x, and then 18 divided by 6 is going to be 3. Positive 3. So positive 3, circle. It's open to the positive 3. So when it opens to the number, it takes the graph this way, or the number line. So go find positive 3. So positive 2, positive 1, 0. And then 0, you don't put that. Okay, and then x. Okay, next problem. Negative 4 times x plus 7 is less than 35. So I've got times 4, negative 4 and plus 7. So I get rid of the plus 7 with a minus 7. Then I get rid of the times negative 4 with a divide by negative 4. And since that's a negative here with the division, with the divide, we want to switch our sign at that point. So first I'm minus 7. Now when you're minusing or plussing, the sign stays the same. So over here I've got negative 4 times x, and over here 35 minus 7 is 28. Then I divide by negative 4 and switch the sign while we do that. So switch the sign. We have x. Then I take 28 divided by negative 4, I get negative 7. So I have negative 7. Which way are we going? What opens to the x? So when it opens to the x, then the x values go this way. Tick, tick, tick. Okay, so there's negative 7. So it'd be negative 6, negative 5, negative 4. X here. Okay, next problem. 10 times x plus 4 is less than 34. So we have times 10 and plus 4. So we get rid of our plus 4 with a minus 4. And we get rid of our times 10 with a divide by 10. And since it's positive 10, we're going to divide both sides by, we leave the sign. Okay, so minus 4. By the way, you always leave the sign when you minus or plus. 34 minus 4 is 30. And then over here I got 10 times x. Then divide by 10. Again, we're leaving the sign. So we have x, and then 30 divided by 10 is 3. Positive 3. Okay, which direction does it go? Opens to positive 3. So when it opens to the number, it goes this way. Tick, tick, tick. So here's positive 3. So it'll be positive 2, positive 1, 0. There you go. And x. Okay, negative 3 times x plus 7 is greater than 22. So we got the times and the plus 7. So we take out our plus 7 with a minus 7. When you're minusing and plussing, you always leave the sign. Then you take out your times negative 3 with a divide by negative 3. And on the divide, since I'm dividing each side by a negative, we switch our sign. Okay, so minus 7, sign doesn't change here. 22 minus 7 is 15. And then negative 3 times x. Now go look at the next step, and you're dividing by negative 3, and when I'm doing that, we have to switch our sign. So we need to switch that. So I have x, and then 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. So I'm at negative 5. I circle. Which way do I go? Well, it opens to the negative 5, so that's going to take our graph this way. Tick, tick, tick. So So here's negative 5, be negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. Okay, and then my last problem, 8 times x minus 5 is greater than 43. So we have a times 8 and a minus 5. So we get rid of our minus 5 with a plus 5. Again, just like plus and minus, the sign doesn't change. When we divide, it's going to be by 8, and it's positive 8, so we will leave the sign. So plus 5, plus 5, and 43 plus 5 is 48, and we have 8 times x. We divide each side by 8, we're leaving the sign. We have x, and then 48 divided by 8 is 6. So we have 6, we circle, we don't fill it. It opens to the x, okay? So that takes us this way, okay? Tick, 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 and it's positive 6. So there's positive 6, so it'll be positive 7, positive 8, positive 9. Okay, there we go.